Hello everyone, my name's Brendan Moore. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator, and welcome to Well Pratt Wednesday. On Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. Today we talk about the last new planet that we see in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. That planet being Scarif. We will also discuss the Battle of Scarif, which is the first major victory over the Galactic Empire mentioned in the opening crawl of the original Star Wars film. So let's jump right in. Scarif is where the plans to the Death Star were kept. Scarif is a tropical planet full of beautiful ocean and nice archipelagos, and beautiful palm trees, and a very nice planet, were it not for the Imperial occupation. So let's get into a bit of the story leading up to Scarif. Galen Erso on Edu, working on the Death Star, sent the Imperial defector, Bodi Rook, to find Saul Guerrero. Galen was apparently under the impression, as he had been kept away from the events of the galaxy, I'm sure, by his job basically as a slave in the Empire, was under the impression that Saul Guerrero still worked with the Rebel Alliance. And also that Jyn Erso would be still with Saul and his group of militants. That, of course, is not the case. But, nonetheless, Bodi Rook delivered the message. Saul was initially distrustful of Bodi, but once he sort of discovered the truth using that weird tentacle creature Morgullet, he was willing to accept that the message from Galen was genuine. When Jyn came to meet with Saw, he showed her the recording and the message, in which Galen Erso stated that the Death Star had a flaw that he had built into its reactor, and that a pressurized explosion to the reactor would destroy the entire station. And then he told Jyn in the message that a complete blueprint, basically, of the Death Star could be found in the Citadel Tower on Scarif. It was at this time, of course, that Jedha, which is the planet that they were all on at the time, or that Saw and Jyn were on at the time, had just been dealt a devastating blow by the Death Star. So the message was not preserved, like and so all they had to go on was Jyn's word when our heroes had to escape the planet. After some finagling, Jyn was able to convince Cassian to believe her. And then they set off to Scarif. Scarif was protected by a shield gate, or by a shield that covered the entire planet. So our heroes had to sneak in using the stolen Imperial cargo shuttle and sneak in, pretending to be members of the Empire. They got in, they landed, and they set up a plan that while Jin and Cassian and K2SO went in to retrieve the plans, the rebel soldiers who went with them would set off a series of distractions by blowing up parts of the island to get the Imperials' attention. The plan worked. Jin and Cassian were able to get the plans and were able to send them out. Now, it gets a little bit complicated in terms of there was an awful lot of steps they had to go through. They had to, reset the antenna alignment, and they had to figure out a way to bring the shield down because they couldn't beam the transmission out with the shield and the shield gate closed. This is, of course, the Battle of Scarif that occurred on the land, but also especially in space. Also especially, I was redundant there, especially in space, where Admiral Radis, the Mon Calamari admiral who joined the fight, had to figure out a way to get the shield down, and came up with a creative way of basically pushing a Star Destroyer into the shield gate, causing it to blow up and deactivating the shield for the entire planet. The message was sent out. Unfortunately, the Death Star destroyed the Citadel Tower, and all of our heroes ended up perishing during the conflict. But the message was sent out and was delivered, or rather the plans were sent out and delivered to Princess Leia, and then she headed out, of course, as we know, to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, only to be waylaid by Darth Vader. But, as we know, she hid the plans of R2-D2, and this is where Luke Skywalker comes into the story. So, Scarif is a very important planet to the history of the galaxy. As we see, the events that occurred there were of vast importance, because that's really where our story begins. Leia had the stolen plans that she got from the battle at Scarif, and this sets off the whole chain of reactions that is the story of Star Wars. Now, the question, would I like to live on Scarif? You betcha. I would not like to live anywhere near the Imperial occupation or during those events, but I certainly would enjoy living on this tropical world. Now, in the film, we don't really know whether or not there are native inhabitants, intelligent inhabitants. But since we are going only by what the films say, I guess there are a couple of creatures. A strange crustacean-like creature called a Blixus. But I don't recall ever seeing them much on film. So it doesn't seem like they're intelligent inhabitants. I'm sure they're very interesting creatures living in the oceans. But I think it's a very beautiful planet. I would definitely want to live there. I think it's a great addition to the Star Wars universe. I like the battle scenes on the land, on the beach there, give it a kind of a Saving Private Ryan World War II look. Or even a, you know, the Thin Red Line, the Battle of Guadalcanal, or, the War in the Pacific with the U.S. and the Japanese. It has that feeling, and even the uniforms and the outfits and the helmets that the soldiers are wearing give it a very World War II vibe. And I think it's a great addition to Star Wars. And really is a kind of planet that we really have never seen yet, at least on film in Star Wars. So those are my thoughts. Leave me your thoughts on the Planet Scarif. You can find me on YouTube at Tasty Waffle. You can find me on Twitter at BrennanBlue, BrennenBlue. You can follow me on Facebook at Brennan Marr. And please, if you like what I've said, subscribe to this podcast. My name is Brennan Marr. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator. And thank you for tuning in to One Pratt Wednesday on Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you.